I truly think that the closer you are to your government, the more impactful it is.
Hello and welcome to this installment of the First Amendment Museum's one-on-one series. Today I'm joined by our special guest, Reginald Parson. Reginald, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Reginald Parson. I am currently a senior legislative aide and policy analyst in the Speaker's office in the Maine Legislature. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I came to Maine in 2016 to go to law school.
Why do you think the First Amendment is important?
I think it's incredibly important in this day and age, and this time that we're living in our country. I think we've seen in the last, year and a half, almost close to 2 years, the ability for people to, express themselves in a way that can be passionate at times and can get heated. As someone who works in state government, we hear from people all the time. And that's their ability to either come to their capital or reach out to their elected officials to express whatever it is that they like.
So how did you end up as a senior legislative aide and policy analyst?
Since I've been this little, very little, government was something I was always attracted to. And throughout my young adult life, I've always tried to position myself to be put in places where I feel like I can make change. And I've always enjoyed policy. And I think my background coming from Chicago, I think really kind of gave me an idea of what people go through and living in a big city and see people's struggles and things that they overcome. I'm thankful and I'm thankful to be, under the leadership of Speaker Fecto, trying to do good work for the people of Maine.
So how do you think the freedoms found in the First Amendment can help Maine, or I guess pretty much any other state, tackle some of their many local issues?
The freedoms in the First Amendment, such as the freedom to petition your government, the freedom to reach out to your local or state folks or the national folks, the members of the press who have the ability to ask their leaders or elected officials sometimes tough questions. And I think we've seen, groups or organizations in the community, especially at a local level, if they're really fired up about something, whether they support something or oppose something, they have the ability to organize and they have the ability to push back on their counselors. I think the freedoms found in the First Amendment can obviously cause a lot of debate in the community, which is good. Especially the closer you are to your government, the kind of more passionate people can get, because, people have lived in their communities for a long time, and, there might be some changes that people like or don't like. And that can make people a little nervous. And so they should have the ability to reach out to their elected officials or policymakers to say, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Or I want this thing to happen.
How important are state and local politics? Or do you think people spend too much time worrying about national politics? Or is there some room where they're all equally important?
Yeah, no, I mean, all of them are equally important. I truly think that the closer you are to your government, the more impactful it is. And so, while it's important to pay attention to national issues, I think it's incredibly important for folks to pay attention to what their councils are doing, pay attention to what your legislature is doing, pay attention to what your governor's doing, and in my time in the legislature, the bills that we pass, they have an impact and they can have a quick impact on people, especially with the local issues. We see in Portland a mask mandate, and I'm going to Hannaford, I'm going to a restaurant, boom, you see a sign that says masks are required. That goes to show that, the council's ability to impact something that fast is great.
How do you use the First Amendment in your everyday life?
In some cases, I have the ability to write op-eds and letters to the editor that inject, hopefully, what I think is a thoughtful perspective into the public discourse. And I've certainly written on quite a few things that are impacting, me locally and and what I hope that, I want my elected leaders, because, even though I work for the state of Maine, I'm also a citizen. So I hope to have the ability to express myself in a way that's constructive and be part of a positive public conversation.
Well, Reginald, thank you so much for joining us for this interview.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, and I hope my perspective contributes to some hopefully positive dialogue about the First Amendment. So thank you.